90s, 100s, and plus, okay? It's all gonna start right here. It starts between your ears, okay? But you gotta learn how to breathe. So everybody, I want you to raise your arms up, okay? Let's raise them out. Let's move those arms around a little bit, okay? You know what you're doing? You're moving, you're burning calories here, okay? This is a good thing. It's not bad, you can do it in a suit. You can do it in a suit. Where's JT? You can do it in a suit, you can do it anyway, okay? How about just a big inhale up, a big breath? There's nothing better than breathing. Now, you guys are welcome to sit down. What I did that to make a point, okay? You know what? It all starts with a decision. It starts with actively moving. It starts with going out every day and saying, you know what? I'm gonna make a decision in my health every single day. Is it gonna be, how many calories am I gonna put in today? Am I gonna get away from that sugar? Okay, and I'm gonna talk about sugar in just a second here because it really is something that we need to be very aware of, okay? But it does all start in the mind, and thank you very much for bringing that up. Because in my journey, if I hadn't said, you know what, I'm gonna keep going and keep going and keep going, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. We actively were helping, you know, close to 100 people every Saturday, and we've actually had a couple of great accounts with like Kaiser Permanente, actually teaching the staff at Kaiser. And you know, there's nothing more of a joy in my heart than helping other people. Now that didn't happen until I found this company and I was able to lose the weight. Now, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit and I wanna share with you just some bullet points, and we're gonna look at what CDC says about actually fitness, okay? Everybody familiar with CDC? Okay? It says, regular physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your health, okay? It controls your weight, reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, hello? Okay? Reduces the risk of some cancers. In fact, some studies out there have been shown up to 50% less likely chance of getting cancers if you work out on a regular basis. That's staying active. That is why it's important, okay? It actually strengthens and tones your muscles, which is very important the older we get. Okay, and I can tell a little story. I work in the Port of Los Angeles. Okay, I work as a longshoreman, and for years I would pick up these porter jobs in the cruise terminals. Some of the most devastating things I've seen is people that are in their golden years, and it's not so golden. Okay? You know, they save up all their life. They save up all their life. And I'm not trying to bring a bummer on this right now, but I gotta tell you the story. They save up all their life to get to that point to where they can actually start having fun. They can actually start enjoying the fruits of their labor. And now they're in a walker or a wheelchair, and somebody else is pushing them around. And I would hear these conversations as I'm helping them with their bags. You know, I wish I'd done more. I wish I'd done more. This might be my last one. Yeah, that gets you right here. That's why I do what I do on a daily basis to help try to uplift more people, to start a movement like, and I applaud you what you're doing here. This is grassroots right now, but it's not gonna be forever because people are waking up. There's a great book out there, you might take this down. It's by an economist. His name is Paul Zane Pilzer. Paul Zane Pilzer, and he said that the next $1 trillion industry is in health and wellness. And the reason he said that is because baby boomers are starting to wake up. You're starting to see that pharmaceuticals don't always work. In fact, most of the time they just mask the problem. They just mask the problem. You ask anybody that's on high blood pressure medicine and say, okay, how long have you been taking the high blood pressure medicine? Okay, is it working? Did you get better? Well, yeah, I didn't get better. It's working to keep it down, but I didn't get better. It didn't take it away. Okay? How about addressing the actual issue? Finding out how to do it to make it go away naturally. Okay? There's something you could do. Okay, we're getting back to exercise. It is vital for our muscles, for our strength, that into our aging years, as we get up there into 70s and 80s, that we stay active. Because you know what? You don't want to be in that walker. You don't want to be in a wheelchair. You want to be, you know, have that kind of dignity about yourself. And I know as a guy, I've already told my son, I said, if it ever happens to me, you know, just take me to a cliff and push me off. Because I really don't want to be there. I want to be that guy that I grew up next door to. One of my first neighbors that I we moved into a house together after me and my wife got married. This guy, I've seen him drive around, I've seen him do everything, and I asked him, I go, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 89. And I go, you're still driving? He's like, yeah. And this guy was, I mean, amazing, right? And I asked him, I go, what did you do? He goes, I was a postman. I go, really? I go, interesting. Interesting. He goes, yeah, I was a postman. He goes, they figured out I walked over 12 million miles on my postal routes throughout the over 50 years that I was a postman. And I put it right there together. I said, you know what? Could it be as easy as walking? Could it be as easy to keep that mind sharp as walking? Could it be easy as to keep the blood flowing as walking? Maybe so. Maybe so. I have an aunt that lived to be 104, okay? Up until the last 4 years, she was in perfect health. Perfect health. Now, I remember her bussing tables until she was 85 years old. Hey, bussing tables is hard work. You're moving, you're moving, you're moving. Could it be as easy as moving? It could. It very well could be. So I want to provoke everybody to actually, if I don't do anything else today, I don't care anything about what else we're doing, but I want to provoke you to one thing. Keep in your mind, I need to move. I need to move. There's a great thing I wear on my wrist right now. It's called a Fitbit. And I tell all my students about this. If you don't have one, get one. What's the greatest thing about it is about every 15 minutes it gives me a little alert. It gives me a little buzz. It says, you know what, get up and move. Hey, it's good because even what statistics are showing us, this is what it's showing us. The people who are sedentary, who sit down, even if you are active later in the day and you sit down all the time, it still brings on the precursors to heart disease, diabetes, etc., etc. Okay? So that's the first message, get up and move. Hey, I got something exciting to actually share with you. How many people are interested in living longer? Okay, I think I'm talking to the right people, right? I'm talking to the right people. Okay, now back in 2013, there was a major discovery out of Harvard Medical, okay, a major discovery. A doctor by the name of Dr. Sinclair and his team of scientists actually stumbled upon something while studying pre-aging mice. These were mice that were premature aging. And what they wanted to do, they wanted to find out was how they could stop the aging process in these mice that were prematurely aging. And as they were researching, they came across the compound that was mind-boggling. It not only stopped the aging process, it actually started putting it in reverse. Okay? That compound is known as NAD+. Okay? Now, it made rave reviews, and even NASA picked up on this, because NASA's got a certain problem. They got a big goal right now, is to go to Mars. Now, here's the problem. Any astronaut that flies to Mars, or not flies, excuse me, travels to Mars, you don't fly in space. Any astronaut that travels to Mars will be bombarded constantly by cosmic radiation. And what they figure, even in a 5-month journey there and back, every single astronaut will come back with cancer. Every single one. That's a major problem. To date, they do not have a way that they can actually protect them, even from their suit or their spacecraft. Well, when this science came out of Harvard, they said, well, if we can't protect them against it, maybe we can repair it. And right now, they're in clinical trials right now for NASA to actually start using this compound to actually reverse aging. Now, what it does is really simple, okay? It actually removes the thing that's causing your stem cells to actually not work. And then when it gets them working again. Now, what Sizzle International has done, they have a team of scientists, got 18 PhDs on staff. We own our own manufacturer, okay? Now, these men and women on their scientific staff are sold out for one thing: longevity and actually prevention. They want to prevent you from getting disease, and they want to actually be able to introduce things into your body that can help you live longer. Okay, so I know I'm talking to the right crowd here. Going back to NAD+, there's a problem with NAD+. Most of our cells in our body over time are affected by glycation. Okay, glycation is something that happens from sugars that we ingest. And as I told you I was going to get on the topic of sugars. Okay, over time these sugars actually are like cotton candy that clog the receptors in our cells. Now, our bodies are made up of all different types of cells. There's bone cells, there's tissue cells, there's white blood cells, there's red blood cells, there's brain cells, bone cells. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Stem cells, and everybody should be familiar with stem cells, okay, are actually donor cells. They can become any of those cells in your body. What Sizzle was able to find out was a way to actually remove that glycation that's clogging up the cells in the first place. Remove it, flush out the lipofuscin completely out of your body, okay? So you do go through a detox, flushing out the lipofuscin from your body, allowing this NAD to come in and replace and start the stem cells reactivation mode. Most of your stem cells go dormant around age 25. Do you remember what you felt like when you were a kid? Anybody remember that? Remember how you just bounced off the walls? And then now you look at your kids or your grandkids, you go, man, if I could only get back to that. How'd you like to be able to wake up in the morning and just spring wide awake? Say, I'm ready to go. Okay? You can. How'd you like to be able to actually push more weight and, let's say, do things endurance-wise that you never did when you were 20? Okay? Well, going back to the science that Harvard Medical came up with, in the mice, they started feeding them this NAD+. These premature A.G.E mice, they usually die around in about 1.5 years, 2 years, live to be over 4 years. Then they introduced some new mice in that didn't have that. They were basically maybe 18 months old. That's about time they hit maturity. They put them on a treadmill side by side. Those 4-year-old mice beat the adolescent mice. They beat them on a treadmill. You know what? If it can be done in the mice and in the other creatures that they've actually tested this with, it will work in us as well. Here's my story. I've been on this product for about 55 days. The first 5 days, I started really feeling the detox. Then I started feeling the energy. And I was like, this is interesting. Okay? By day 14, I walked into my chiropractor's office and they hand me a kiosk that I usually hand back to the clerk at the desk because I couldn't see it without my reading glasses. And I looked down, I could see the kiosk. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm rubbing my eyes and go, I can actually see again without my reading glasses. It has improved tenfold since then. Okay? I'm actually able to see the receipts that I couldn't see. My wife would vouch for this. I couldn't see anytime we go out to dinner. I'd be passing her, you check it out. I don't know what it says on there. You know, I can see it now. That's amazing. On top of that, I've been able to actually, endurance-wise, being a fitness instructor, go past those points where you normally hit a wall. I can push past that now. Okay, we have countless testimonies around the globe of people that started this in the last 50 days. Just mind-blowing stuff. We're talking back pain going away. We're talking hair regrowth. We're talking, by the way, where's the brother? We're talking hair regrowth. How'd you like to see all your roots start coming in dark again? Ladies? Yeah? Start coming in dark, yeah. Body hair back dark. Eyebrows, everything, etc. Yeah, this is amazing. So what I want you to do, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to come back, take a look at what we got back here. This is something that is really incredible and probably one of the most exciting finds in science this century, okay? Probably in the last century as well, okay? And it's all new. If you want to wait for NASA to put their product out, it'll probably be another 6 years. You can have it today, okay? So everybody, thank you for having us today. I want to